Hello everyone, my name's Don Wayne. I'm doing a build right now with my friends that is working really well with the new update. And this video isn't necessarily about the update, but we're really enjoying it right now. So the build is built around Tenacious, this cell right here. And for every 100 HP, you gain 2% bonus damage. So at 1600 health, you'll be at a 32% damage bonus. And then for every 50 shield, you gain 1% bonus critical strike chance. So everyone probably knows about this cell already and that it was kind of a competitor to Iceborne builds. And it was much needed, but there's also a mechanic that you can use with Guardian, this one right here, where 60% of the health shield you apply to yourself is also applied to the nearest ally for 15 seconds. And the secret to it is basically if you run that and you've got your Skarn weapon, you're building a shield on yourself in addition to another person. Where it gets really awesome is if that person also has Guardian. That shield you're putting on him does the same thing that your Guardian originally did. So it then gets put onto a third person. And, obviously in a certain sense, it would then infinitely stack up. So we're thinking of calling this an infinity shield. And even though mechanically it won't be an infinite shield, um, it'll be enough to where it's noticeable in the game. And if you run into us in a hunt or run into other people in a hunt, if people use this build, if you pass this out to your friends and get them to use it, we'll all be helping each other and have a progressively better build. So that's why I'm sharing this, and that's a little bit of the rundown of the overall reason we're using this build. So there's some requirements for cells, and others are just preference based. So tough required because it's that base health increase is helping your tenacious, so your overall damage, and it makes you stay alive longer. So that's really nice. Guardian's obviously required. Um, you're welcome to take it off if you don't like the idea of having a shield for someone else or doing that. It ends up being a real big bonus though when you have a couple people running it. A little bit overpowered. Don't tell the developers that though. And then also I've got Evasive Fury because I'm using strikers. I really need attack speed. Um, so I'm using that. So the cool thing is if I get hit, I start I start healing because of parasitic. This one right down here. And if I dodge them, I get increased attack speed. So if I either get hit or I dodge them, there's going to be a benefit to myself. And the first one would be parasitic. So what this does is it gives you lifesteal for the duration that the cell is in effect for. So when you get hit, say for like 100 damage, 20% of it, so 20 damage, will be dealt over 10 seconds. And that's at +3. So increasing the cell amount only increases uh, the amount that it delays. So if I went to +6, it would instead take 35 damage and spread it out over 10 seconds. The reason we want this is that for that 10 seconds, no matter what level our parasitic is, we get 5% lifesteal. And why that's really nice is we're probably used to Iceborne or some other way of gaining health, like health pots, and then you run out of pots. But what this does is it brings your health up and allowing you to get your tenacious buff, and then um, not having to worry about losing rage or wild frenzy. And it works really nice. So parasitic is, in my mind, a requirement. Obviously, just for this build. Knockout King or weighted strikes will come naturally because right now Skarn is the main weapon you would use, and you can use any type of scarn, and you'll benefit from these same sockets. You could also use the Terra Behemoth Agaris's weapons and use Skarn as the bonded weapon. And the Knockout King and weighted strikes aren't hugely helpful, but you can't really do anything about that. And then I have Conduit, +3 Conduit, because even though we're actually not sure if it's stacking like it did anymore, you really need attack speed with strikers. So if you end up using like sword or something else, you might want to review Conduit and Evasive Fury, depending on what weapon you're using. So I'm using Skullforge for stamina. You're welcome to change this, but you want to make sure to have a defensive slot in it. So I'm just going to go through each item real quick and highlight the cell. So I've got +3 Guardian on the helmet. On Nasher Cloak, I have +3 Tough built onto the cloak, and then +3 Guardian in the cell. For the Grasp of Thorns, I have Evasive Fury on it. This is from Koshai. And then I put in a +3 Tenacious. And then finally we have the boots with +3 Tough built in it. And I put a +3 Tenacious on it. For the Skarn weapon, it's obviously got that Knockout King built in. And then this hugely important innate ability where dealing damage has a chance based on damage dealt to grant a stacking, refreshing 40 health shield that lasts for 12 seconds. So that will get up to, I've seen it as high as 5,000, and I'm sure you guys will get it higher. Maybe we'll see numbers even higher than like 10,000 if enough people run it. So in here I've got Evasive Fury and then Parasitic. And you don't need to know my striker mods or anything like that. You're welcome to use whatever you want for those. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like the video and send it out to people so that we can farm a little bit faster. Thank you guys. See ya.